Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about Smuggler's Cove by Martin Cate with Rebecca Cate. Now, as regular viewers will know, my cocktail book, Cocktails and Consoles, is out this fall, and starting in May, we've taken a periodic detour from our usual coverage of science fiction, fantasy, horror, and taken a look at some of the cocktail books on my cocktail bookshelf in my libation library that have inspired me in the work that I do here for Bar Cart Bookshelf, in the work that I did in preparing Cocktails and Consoles, and just in general, that home bar education is something that, as you would know from what we do here, is very important to me, this grounding in the classics that allows us to then extrapolate onto some really fun new kinds of ideas and formats. And so the first time that we took one of these little detours, we looked at the 12 Bottle Bar, which is a really great starter text, and today we are looking at Smuggler's Cove, which is not so much a starter text so much as it is a tome. It is a tome of tiki tropical drinks, the history, the lore, all of the culture around that. Tiki and tropical drinks are part of a very long-standing cocktail tradition and sub-history within the discipline, one that has been reapproached and reimagined in recent years, given the difficult tension between this idealization of an island lifestyle and the world of the Caribbean and the South Pacific, and the problematic cultural appropriation that is an unfortunate and long-standing part of this tradition. The sort of tiki mugs that mimic or recreate Polynesian deities. Certainly not something that you would ever see on my shelf when I'm going for a nice frosty tropical mug. I like a sea creature. I like the octopus that we used for Amina al-Sarafi, or my pink piggy, or peacock, or the red dragon. Things like that, that allow us to play in this really vibrant playground of flavor and tradition and fun without having to recreate and perpetuate some of the less savory elements of it. Because while tiki and tropical drinks owe a lot to these flavors, they are also a distinctly sort of American and distinctly 20th century phenomenon, and they're really good drinks. Things like the pina colada, like the Mai Tai, one of my absolute favorite drinks for the summer, a Mai Tai, and drinks like the drink that we will be making today, which is one of my favorite sort of unsung cocktails in the modern world. It's not one that we really see a lot, but it's one that when I'm having friends over in the summer, it's one that's going in the blender. So yeah, why don't we turn to that and think a little bit more about tiki tropical things as we do. Our drink today is the Tradewinds. It's going to be a nice crushed ice, frosty, frothy rum cocktail. A lot of these tiki tropical drinks, they really... Oh, gotta get my jigger. They really rely on these different types of rum, this really wonderful tradition of sugarcane-based spirits, and then, of course, lots of fun garnishes. One of those elements that I carried over into Cocktails and Consoles. We have got some really, really fun garnishes there. That was a fun project to be working on because we don't really have a lot of time to do that here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. They take a lot of prep. They don't look cool when you're talking about a book. They take more focus than I can offer while celebrating and reviewing a book. And so it was really fun to indulge and explore that side of the craft in Cocktails and Consoles. I think y'all are going to have a lot of fun with the garnishes that we have in that. But without any further ado, why don't we turn to our Tradewinds. We are going to start with an ounce of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. A lot of these are made with lime, but the Tradewinds is made with lemon juice. And then we're going to get some cream of coconut. And we're going to get a lot of this. This is going to be 1.5 ounces of the cream of coconut, this wonderful coconut syrup. You know, some people make it themselves. This is one of the syrups that I don't make myself because I just really like how it comes out of the squeeze bottle. I find that a lot of fun. I find that really easy. And I just love that sort of, it feels almost like sunscreen. And that, you know, feels very summery to me. So we're going to get our lemon juice, our cream of coconut down into the blender, and then we will start adding our spirits. We're going to get 1 ounce of apricot liqueur. This is my homemade apricot liqueur made by soaking dried apricots in vodka for 2 to 3 weeks along with some granulated sugar. It's really got that wonderful rich dried fruit flavor. It's great for some of these tropical drinks like the Tradewinds, but also for all sorts of applications. I really like it on its own, just with like a splash of seltzer. It's very, very refreshing here in the summertime. And then our rums. We're going to get 1 ounce each of the Blackstrap rum, which is going to have this wonderful chocolatey molasses quality to it. Very rich, very dark, sort of demerara burnt sugar and richness. And then 1 ounce of just a lightly aged, plain aged rum. And I'm sort of pouring over the last of the cream of coconut here in my jigger because it can stick to the inside, which is why I like to do that sort of early in the process so that the rest of our ingredients sort of wash that out and we aren't wasting so much. This is a recipe that scales up really well. We're making it for one today, but you can easily double, triple, quadruple it as much as you can fit in the blender because it's a really great drink for a party when you're having friends over on the patio, on the porch, by the pool. Just, remember to stay safe and enjoy something frosty freezy. And then, now that all of our ingredients are in there, we're going to get some crushed ice down in there, as well as some agitator cubes. So these are our standard ice cubes, and having those in there, those denser, heavier duty ice cubes, is really going to help to mix our ingredients, give a little slower dilution than that crushed ice, which melts very, very quickly, and a little more agitation because it's a harder ice cube. Get our lid onto the blender. There we go, get it on right, and give it a whirl. There we go. Now you can blend as long as you like. You can do a quick blending, or you can do a nice long blending if you want it a little more liquidy, a little more refreshing. If you want something that's a little more of a slushy consistency, then blend a little less. But once you've got that all blended together, all frosty, frothy, just pour that right into a tall glass. Or if you want a tiki mug, you can go for that, and you can enjoy. As I said, this is one that works really well for a crowd because you never quite know how much volume you're going to get with that. And so there you have it. This is the Tradewinds. It is featured in Smuggler's Cove by Martin Cate with Rebecca Cate. If you own just one Tiki Tropical book, this is a really great one to have. It's the Tropical Bible, just an immensely useful work of cocktail lore and recipes, and one that I turn to all the time in the summer for when I'm craving something from that really classic Tiki Tropical tradition. just tremendously refreshing, and we've got a link to snag it in the description down below. We have also got links to various forms of social media, including Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, where there's always a written version of today's recipe, a link to pre-order Cocktails and Consoles, which will be out September 10th. Please try the drink. Let me know what you think. If you haven't tried any drinks in this sort of recipe canon, I really encourage you to check it out. They're classics for a reason, because people just really love them, and I love them. I hope you will too. Hit that like button. It makes me so very happy when you do. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because we have got some really great works of science fiction, fantasy, and horror when we return to our usual programming soon. And so, until next time, cheers. Mmm.